South Africa. Okay, so step by step, devotees are joining. And so let us begin with our mini Vandanam. Yes, Sevaru Perevirasi, welcome. Bande Ham Shri Guru, Shri Yuttapada Kamalang, Shri Gurun Vaishnavang Cha, Shri Rupam Sagrajatam, Sahagan Raghunathan Vitam Tan Sajivam, Sadvaitam Savidutam Parijana Sahitam, Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita, Shri Vishakan Vitangs Cha. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratuje Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome all dear devotees. Anu Krishna Devi Rasi, oh my goodness, middle of the night, welcome. And Jai Gauranga Prabhu, also middle of the night on the other side of midnight. So well done, Jai Gauranga Prabhu. But don't sleep all the way through the day. You get up early, you have to be active brahmachari in the temple. All right. So in my notes, I do have a question pending, but this is from Narottam Nitai. So let's see whether he arrives today. And in the meantime, here we are in spring, the first day of spring, according to, well, now here, the second day of spring, just according to the Vaishnava calendar. And Vashanta Panchami is considered the beginning of spring. And spring, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, of seasons I am flower-bearing spring. And yesterday we went actually to the snow, but instead of snow we found flowers. So we found these little snowdrops. I think in English they're called snowdrop flowers, peonemi, and anyway, little flowers which are springtime flowers and which are a little early, I'm told by the experts of Italy, of northern Italy here in the Alpine region. It's a bit early for them, but they are following the Vaishnava calendar because they are blooming, and we just say, okay, so now is the beginning of spring, in fact. So Krishna says, of all seasons, I am flower-bearing spring. And it's the time of rejuvenation, new life, all of these things take place in spring. The grass suddenly is very green, and so many things. But it's also a good time it's an auspicious time. The beginning of spring, beginning of anything we can try to see is auspicious. The beginning of Krishna's month of spring, very auspicious. A good day to start things, as Srila Gurudev points out, and a list of auspicious events which take place on that day of the first day of spring, headed by Vishnu Priya Devi's appearance. Vishnu Priya Devi, the consort of Nimai Sundar, Nimai Pandit. Hare Krishna. And yesterday, really, our yesterday, your today, those of you on the west side of the Atlantic Ocean. Then we had a very beautiful day, and listening to Srila Guru Maharaj, as fresh as ever, really wonderful talk by Srila Guru Maharaj, and listening to this in the nature in spring yesterday, and we're with the devotees, and can only say, you know, how fortunate we are that in this world at this time we have taken our birth. So Mahaprabhu's grace, but the grace of Guru, the grace of being able to connect with Mahaprabhu and his teachings has come to us in this life. So this is a great fortune. All right, dear devotees, I do encourage you to hear the talks which are there yesterday and read the chapter, A Holy Day, which is there yesterday also, posted on scesmat.com. And this way, the best source of our understanding of the great personalities is from the lotus lips of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, and of course Srila Prabhupada too. And there are some excerpts perhaps from Srila Prabhupada from the books. Okay, so dear devotees, let us begin. I mean, we have begun, but let us begin with our good association who is here with us. Click, click, click. And good association means Jivana Devidasi, Kumkum Devidasi, Paramananda Prabhu, and the senior devotee section here with us. And welcome to Gangalila Devidasi, Ling Danake, Ramananda Prabhu in SJ, which is San Jose too. And Anno Krishna Devidasi there in South America, means Brazil. And Paramananda Prabhu has joined us in the meantime too. Leela Moy Prabhu is looking after us all, technical master. And Raganuga Prabhu, he's enjoying his senior years of life. Enjoying means being a devotee in his senior years of life. So well done, Rupanuga Prabhu. You've not kept yourself entangled in business, etc. You stepped out and you're giving your life for Krishna consciousness and using our life for what we should be using it for always, but at the later years of our life, certainly to give more and more attention, because we all know that we're in the queue and getting closer to the front of the queue to go through the next door. And so in a very positive way, we face life, not in a negative way. So we have, then today, maybe start with Jivana. Jivana, we are in back to basics. And we're also with Madhava Prabhu, Michael Madhava Prabhu. Madhava Prabhu is on Facebook. Today I have the luxury of two internet connections, so I can see, but I can only see some persons on Facebook. I know, I don't quite know why. But to all of you, my obeisances to you all. We have completed our mini Vandana, and of course, all glories to Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. Means Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rokop Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj, and Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who are all giving us Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, or Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and our Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga. So Jivanadi, please, we're coming to you, to your house, to your place in San Jose also, and happily preparing to hear from you.
Oh, Maharaj, there's so many illustrious devotees. I feel so intimidated always to be around all of you. You're all so great. But the nature of devotees, even like in Vrindavan, is they never expose that, really. They look like they're just, natural, but they're not. They are absolutely not. All of you are really special, amazing personalities. And I feel sad that that I can't be a proper devotee. But anyway, because of Maharaj has asked me to say something, but it is such an auspicious day. And I have been hearing in the Chaitanya Bhagavat about Pundarik Vijayaniti. That is such an amazing, wonderful pastime. There's so many lessons in that pastime. And one of the main ones is, and Gurudev will tell us this many times, how it's very difficult for us to recognize who is a Vaishnava. So this was a really big example there, because Pundarik Vijayaniti is, very dear to Mahaprabhu, pure devotee, complete Mahabhagavat. In fact, in his previous time, I believe he was the father of Srimati Radharani, right?
Correct, yes.
And he was very wealthy, and he lived a very wealthy, opulent life. So when Mukunda brought Gadadhar Pandit to visit him, because Mukunda asked Gadadhar Pandit, do you want to meet a wonderful pure Vaishnava? And Gadadhar Pandit was so excited. He was very happy. That was like the best news ever for him. He said, sure. So then they went to go meet with Pundarik Vijayaniti, who was visiting at that time in Navadvip. He had a special house in Navadvip. But when they went there, Pundarik Vijayaniti looked very opulent, and he was, very luxurious and dressed in very beautiful clothing and a beautiful hair, and just so much opulence around him. And only for our benefit is Gadadhar Pandit thinking, and because he's helping us to understand how this can happen to an ordinary person. He is not ordinary, but anyway, he displayed this pastime of seeing Pundarik Vijayaniti as kind of a little bit of a materialistic person, and he felt very disappointed. And so actually Mukunda could understand what was going on with Gadadhar Pandit. So Mukunda then, he quoted a really beautiful verse. I believe it was the one about Putana. Is that the one about Putana, where Krishna is so merciful that Putana came to kill him, and Krishna just accepted her as his mother, and she achieved a position as his mother in the spiritual world. And when Mukunda chose to say that verse, and it pierced Pundarik Vijayaniti's heart, and he went mad in ecstasy of Krishna. He forgot everything. He was pulling out his hair and throwing things around, and just so much in ecstasy to hear this beautiful verse about Krishna. And Gadadhar Pandit could immediately understand, oh, wow, he's actually a very pure saintly Vaishnava. At that time, he could completely understand it, and he felt very, very sorry that he had misinterpreted. Again, we have to remember this is a pastime amongst Krishna's Parshad devotees, Mahaprabhu's Parshad devotees, but it's a very good example for us to understand that we cannot see who is a Vaishnava. Even in this example in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, this is told. So anyway, I'll just give that much for now, because I'm sure that you and Paramananda and others can contribute also more about this. But I just think that is such a lovely pastime for all of us to think about, and very mercifully presented to us.
Jai. And this is also an example too, how Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who is giving us Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, is continually referring us for many of the leelas to Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat and the writings of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. And so these two books, they very much complement each other. And as we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, then we really should pay attention to what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying, and saying, when he says, I'm not repeating so many things, otherwise it'll unnecessarily make this book so big. And he's covering, he said, but I'll cover in summary some of those pastimes, and I'll mention things which Vrindavan Das Thakur didn't mention and gave the opportunity for me to express. So this is another example that we do get a description in Chaitanya Bhagavat, in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But when we come to Chaitanya Bhagavat, then in this case and in various cases, including, by the way, Jagai and Madai, the story that everyone loves to hear and get the children to do in plays, etc. And everyone wants to play. Jagai and Madai rather than Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. Why is that? Anyway, this mischievous nature inside of us. But the point is that these leelas, then Chaitanya Bhagavat is also, we should be reading there and getting more light and more understanding of the leelas from there. And we are to hear about the Lord's pastimes. We're to hear about these pastimes. And remember, Radha Pandit, he is Radharani who has given her heart and luster to Krishna. She's given everything to Krishna. And what's left is Radha Pandit. Now, we just hold that on our heads. We can't put it in our heads. We hold it on our heads. But here is, so this is a super example. It's not a junior devotee who, was back to Fred yesterday and, joined the temple and can't understand who's who. This is like the most exalted most exalted devotees. And showing this example of we must be very careful in our dealings with everyone in the world. And as Srila Gurudev pointed out about the humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others, it is there to protect us because we do not know who is who. But if we are humble, tolerant, and give honor to all others, then we won't make Vaishnava aparat. So it's not for us to go trying to analyze. And there is this tendency that, he or she is this, he or she is that. I mean, unfortunately, we have to hear it by accident. We try not to hear it, but we have to hear it sometimes by accident. But this is a very dangerous plane for us to be in. Oh, okay. Something dropped on the floor, now I know. Hare Krishna. And I heard this not from Chaitanya Charitamrita or Chaitanya Bhagavat. I heard this in the forest yesterday from Srila Guru Maharaj. And it was somehow very alive, so wonderful hearing Guru Maharaj yesterday in the nature's environment. Anyway, it's our own story, but I heard Srila Guru Maharaj, and it's like hearing for the first time ever. Mm-hmm. And that talk, I mean, we've definitely heard it, at least several times, but ever fresh, ever wonderful. And please, if you didn't hear yesterday Srila Guru Maharaj's talk, please do listen to it, or today, where you are, but listen to it, but with, not just casually. You want to try to listen to it seated in front of Guru Maharaj and hearing him. Hare Krishna.
There's a few of them on the Mott website. Which one in particular were you listening to?
It was, where's my phone? The phone is the internet right now. It's the talk of Srila Guru Maharaj, and it was...
there's very auspicious day, Sri Krishna Vasant.
1980, the 30th of January, 820130. I have it on the phone. Okay. But there are several, it's true. But why I'm mentioning this? Because we heard it yesterday, and whatever we hear is always the best recording ever. So it was this one. It doesn't mean that I don't listen to the other ones. We didn't get as far as listening to the other ones because we got absorbed in this one. And by the way, I think some of you know, I don't have it right here, but I do. Anyway, I have a small loudspeaker. It's just a small, light loudspeaker, but it does make everything quite a lot direct and natural than listening off the phone like this. Anyway, just a little tip: if you're with devotees and you have the opportunity, you go somewhere, take a little loudspeaker with you and be somewhere happily. Hare Krishna. Yes, so Jivana is leaving us lots of room for other automatic topics from yesterday. So maybe Kumkum would like to continue the theme, or as you wish, Didi, but back to basics. And Garadha Pandit and Pundarik Nidhi are not like basic understanding of spiritual life, all very inconceivable, but the teaching is so important for us, the very foundation of our safe Krishna consciousness, to give honor to everyone. And this is the example that chosen by the Lord, of course, but the topmost of all possible devotees, showing that everywhere misunderstanding is possible. So everywhere we in particular must follow this humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others as the very basis and basics of our spiritual life.
Yes. Dandavat Maharaj and Jivana Didi has brought this out so beautifully. It's true that it may be startling to us if we, in complete mundane consciousness, saw such behavior in someone. Would we even consider that, how can I give honor to this person? So it's all important to hear this pastime all the time. And I'm thinking about the today, has everyone seen the beautiful picture of Vishnupriya Devi's deity of Mahaprabhu? And considering,
Yes.
and also considering that even if someone has, can we ever see him enough? And I know that I personally was blessed with having his darshan and hearing the pastime of how he came. But yes. But if you could tell us more about this deity and how he came. He's there in Navadvip. We can go there and go on parikram. And of course, we know that this was given to Vishnupriya Devi at the time of Mahaprabhu's sannyas, but she rejected the first two who were presented to her and very much appreciated this particular one, revealing that she behaved as a wife would behave, seeing her husband before her. So if you can expand on these pastimes.
Well, you said the pastime, and expanding on it only, we have heard from Srila Gurudev, and probably from Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, no doubt, but I specifically remembering, as you're describing this, Srila Gurudev describing how this deity manifested. And so it was naturally Mahaprabhu, he's left home, and so his wife, who was very young, remember that the tradition was that from very young age, then the wife and husband, they know who's their husband, they know who's their wife, like this, but it was arranged. And then she gave herself wholly, of course, as the eternal consort of Mahaprabhu, of Nimai Sundar. And so she gave herself entirely. And so when Mahaprabhu left home, then Vishnupriya herself, she is, of course, devastated. And again, Srila Guru Maharaj is describing about how this is her sacrifice for the Sankirtan movement, her sacrifice so that Mahaprabhu will be able to distribute the holy name and Krishna Prema to everyone. So a wonderful perspective. Showing us another perspective of the pastime of Mahaprabhu's sannyas and how everybody involved in that pastime is a member of that Sankirtan, and the great sacrifice of Vishnupriya is for that Sankirtan. But she is in separation. And so she is worshipping her husband. Again, everything is exemplary in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. And so then she commissions the deity. And then the deity, voila, making the deity, and comes and presents deity. And then she says, no, not like this. And gives some direction, some instruction. And by the way, we know it takes a little while to manifest a deity. We've had the fortune to be involved, means as the eye, but using the camera as an eye to see the progress of the development of different deities. And on behalf of Srila Gurudev, then going to the Murti-wala, taking photographs, coming back, and sometimes, and on several occasions, going with Gurudev himself to the Murti-wala. And so we've seen, it takes a little while for a deity to manifest in general. And so then Vishnupriya, she's all this time very eager to have the deity. It's she who wishes to worship her husband and have a deity of her husband. And then the second deity is made and comes, and she's again she doesn't feel the presence of Nimai Sundar then. And then giving some direction perhaps. But then this third deity that came, then when she came before the deity, or the deity was brought to her perhaps, but when she came before the deity, then as soon as she saw that deity, her immediate reaction was she covered her face with the sari, which is in India, it is a very honorable way when you come in front of the husband to be shy in this way. And so she had that immediate mood and feeling, and wasn't like analyzing, is that my husband or not? But here, so heart to heart, as it were. And so and then in this way, this deity worshipped. And in India, in all of India really, but in Navadip and everywhere, there are so many claims, or there are claims to different places being a holy place, or a holy this, or a holy that, or has some particular history. But everything needs to be verified, really. We have to have things verified. Really, is this that they claim to be? And we have had that opportunity to be with Guru Maharaj and be with Gurudev when they have verified some things and verified that some things are not what they're claimed to be also, because that does take place for their own reasons of how it all began, but then becomes a custom. And so, we have to get things a little bit verified for our understanding, because otherwise, how do we know what's what? And so the devotees asked Guru Maharaj specifically about this deity that Vishnupriya worshipped. Is it really the same deity? There is that question which must come sometimes in the minds of the devotees. And Srila Guru Maharaj said, yes, this is the same deity that she worshipped. And when Mahaprabhu came after 5 years after taking sannyas, and the custom is that a sannyasi can go back to his home town, maybe whether to his actual home or not is another matter, but to his home village, his home area, after 5 years from taking sannyas. And he may visit once for respect of the persons, or the inspiration of the devotees there, and so of the family there rather. And so Mahaprabhu, more than 5 years after taking sannyas, he went back to Navadip, and he went to not inside his house, but he went to the gateway, the perimeter of his home, his former home, where Sachimata and Vishnupriya are all living. And there he left his sandals for Vishnupriya. Vishnupriya came out And something which I kind of noted yesterday was that Guru Maharaj said Vishnupriya came out wearing dark clothing, which hadn't struck me before. She came out wearing dark clothing, and she came to in front of Mahaprabhu and bowed down. And Mahaprabhu took off his sandals and left his sandals there for her consolation, and left from there. And Srila Guru Maharaj, he commented, and those sandals are still there being worshipped along with the deity. And we have had the exceptional fortune of the darshan and touch of those sandals, in fact, in the past. And that time too, we asked Guru Maharaj about those sandals, and Guru Maharaj said, yes, those sandals. So here we have something directly from Mahaprabhu's very intense, intimate pastimes. The actual deity that Vishnupriya commissioned and worshipped as her husband. So deity is deity, and that is the deity worshipped by Vishnupriya. And those are the sandals, the wooden shoes of Mahaprabhu. And those deities worshipped by Vishnupriya and given as a inspiration of, like, here I am, here are my shoes, here I'm giving to you. Hare Krishna. And that deity too, this very picture this is in the golden volcano of divine love. Most of you know this. I mean, it's the photo, of course, it's a photo of the deity. But this exact picture used to give me much encouragement when I was in Malaysia and doing, on the order of Srila Guru Maharaj, doing service in the book distribution and assisting with the temple, etc. in Malaysia. But chanting japa and having that picture, I used to be very inspired that, oh, here is Mahaprabhu, this is what his deity, worshipped by Vishnu. And when was in Navadip, so we come to Navadip often for the festivals. We were just nearby. Malaysia and India are almost side by side. They're all, connected. And then I didn't know where the deity was or anything, but Krishna very kindly gave the opportunity to have darshan of this deity unknowingly. It just happened with our dear Sagar Maharaj. And I mean, really dear Sagar Maharaj, Krishna sent him for a very good reason, and his strong Maori nature was necessary, and he did so many good things. But he had some health issues, and he was going to the doctor and had an appointment in the evening on a bit of a rainy, damp evening in Navadip. And I said to Maharaj, I'll go with you if you like. And then he said, yeah, it's okay. And he actually said that in the scripture, it says, when you go to a doctor, you should not go alone. So interesting thing. So anyway, so I went with him, and we had some adventure, because when he went for his appointment, the doctor's clinic was closed. So we went to find his house and so many things. And then we met his wife, and his wife said, yes, it's been raining. He's not opened the clinic, but he'll be there. So we went, and then we went and waited for the clinic to open. So we were waiting under some shelter with a gentle rain in the dark in Navadip. And then we just, while waiting, heard some nice kirtan, artis, and maybe not arti, but some kirtan going on. And then we're just standing there on the side of the road. And this is a small Navadip road. We're not talking about an American highway or a San Jose, very structured left, all straight lines. This is a narrow road in Navadip village, town. And then, so we just thought, okay, let's go in and see the kirtan. And then we went in through a very unassuming gate, just like a doorway going into an alley of somebody's home. And we went in and then went inside, and there was this deity, the deity that Vishnu Priya worshipped. And I honestly just felt this was mercy of the Lord, because we're not going to Navadip and then going to go, searching this, searching that. Yes, on parikrama we'll be taken to different places, but when it's not parikrama time, we're not leaving the temple. We're staying in the temple. We're doing our seva. We leave the temple if there is seva, like on this occasion, to go with the Vaishnava to the doctor or like this. So I was very happy anyway. This was my first knowingly coming to the deity of Vishnu Priya's Mahaprabhu. And by the way, we also did note here in Vila Govinda that in Vila Govinda, here in Italy, the deity is of this nature, with the hands forward. And normally we're worshipping, the deity is classic Mahaprabhu in kirtan, dancing, chanting. But here is this mood of graciousness of the most gracious Lord. And in that picture, which is in the golden volcano, the shoes are actually at the bottom, where my finger's pointing. Hare Krishna, now you transported us to Navadip. Hare Krishna. Shripad Dandi Maharaj joined us, Dandavat Pranam Maharaj, and I can tell by the curtain and the wall you are in Mayapur, in Navadip. And Chintamani is showing us, oh, I see, I'm in the small view, speaker view. Oh, we're at the front of we're at the Singadwara, the main entrance to the Puri temple. If you're able to see, I know sometimes on the phones and the smaller screens, it's perhaps not always so easy to see, but we're at the Singadwara of the Jagannath temple in Jagannath Puri, and of course, after Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas and then roamed around in Raradesh, was tricked to go to Advaita Acharya's home, then Sachi Devi, the mother, so we've just been talking about the wife of Nimai Sundar, but the mother of Nimai Sundar, Sachi Devi, then she, on the request of Mahaprabhu, then she gave expressed her desire to him that if you will stay in Jagannath Puri, then, after taking sannyas, then I'll get regular news of you. And in Jagannath Puri, then here the devotees regularly, and Mahaprabhu would regularly go for darshan of Lord Jagannath. And here is the Jagannath temple. And we, as non-traditional Brahmana Hindus, as they see it, we are not allowed within the temple. And we don't make any objection to that. Haridas Thakur, Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, there's a list of super devotees who were not allowed within the Jagannath temple. What to speak of us? But there is, just inside the door, if you go to the left, there's Patita Pavan Jagannath inside this entrance gateway. No, the deity is on the right inside.
I'm at the back. I'm at the back gate, not the front gate, because they don't let you come close enough at all at the front gate anymore. There's like this huge. I'll take you over there. The back gate's a little more easier.
Accessible. Okay. So yeah, we were at the back of the temple. All right. Things have changed in Jagannath Puri, means they've demolished a lot of buildings, around the temple in order to make space. And so this area where we are now, it was not like this when I was there. In fact, it was in the process of being demolished at the beginning of COVID. So during COVID, they have demolished a lot of the buildings and cleaned up the place, and they're making Jagannath Puri into like very clean and organized place. And I understand what Chintamani was saying. At the front of the temple, we know now that there is like a larger area where it was quite random, a ragamag, in the way that everybody approached to the gate, but now some systematic arrangement. Some Bengali ladies. So this is the back gate now. That's quite amazing. Hare Krishna. Chintamani, as you are with us and as you are moving, most of us are sitting very still and quiet. Perhaps you can move in parikrama of the Jagannath temple, so we can all have some agyata parikrama. When you go to the front, if you follow around, and you can say now, because I know you have your microphone, but you're chatting to others, okay. It's about is that market, the street market, still there? Okay, let's see. You take us around and we'll chat while you walk.
And I have to get the contact information of United States-based Deshi beautiful sisters. Send me a message. Let's be in touch, okay? Hare Krishna. And I'm taking you around.
Okay.
Can I go on parikrama this way? Excuse me? The
Okay.
security guy's not even looking.
Okay, Chintamani, you just go on parikrama. Well. Things have changed in Puri in 4 years, we have to say. Okay, so we're on parikrama there. We've gently entered the Chintamani lively world, and we're happy to do so. Okay, now, yes, you just continue on parikrama, and we'll hear something from Paramananda Prabhu kindly, because the clock ticketh. The clock is ticking, and let the Paramananda Prabhu, can we please come to your good self and to continue as you wish in our back to basics from your motor car. But are you driving? No, you're a passenger.
No, Maharaj, I'm a driver, but I parked. I am immobile at the moment.
Ah, okay. So Paramananda, over to you.
But now I'm looking at Chintamani's video and getting dizzy. She needs a steady cam.
Or
It's wonderful, Maharaj.
Steady hand.
Steady hand or a steady cam. Yes, it's changed indeed, Maharaj, really. It's almost unrecognizable. I think they removed a lot of old dwellings around the temple.
Yeah.
By the order of the government, which is a pithy thing to do, but what can we do? And thank you to Jivana and Kumkum Didi for bringing up these wonderful subjects today. Both are very special. Pundarik Vidiniti story is one of my favorite stories too, and Vishnu Priyadi, that brought a lot of memories. And I also had a good fortune of having the darshan of the sandals. That was amazing. But you know what was the most amazing thing?
Tell me.
That I felt no perspiration. My voice did not choke in ecstasy.
Oh.
In fact, I felt nothing.
Oh.
And that was the most amazing thing to me. And I realized, what kind of a devotee I am. In fact, I realized that I'm not a devotee at all. Because, I mean, we heard the stories about different Vaishnavas of the past. Mukunda, he saw a Nabab being fanned with the peacock feather, and he fainted. I mean, I can just go on almost endlessly about those stories. Just a slight reminder in that direction, the direction of Krishna, and anything related to him would make a devotee faint or at least feel something. And we witnessed it very recently in Srila Govinda Maharaj, and you probably in Srila Guru Maharaj. It is true. But then in these kind of moments, a very deep realization comes to you that you have to, how much more you have to aspire for that position, and how high is that position that you can actually feel something substantial. Not to pretend, not to think, oh, I'm feeling something, and instead it will be just some cheap sentiments created by your mundane assembly of different feelings. Really, almost zero understanding. That's I'm just talking about myself. I'm not really. Please understand me carefully. And also, Kumkum Lydia brought this important subject about how deities are manifested. And we know so many deities in our line. Srila Rupa Goswami's Govinda, Srila Jiva Goswami's Radha Damodar, Srila Sanatana Goswami's Madan Mahan, Madhu Pandit's Gopinath, Radha Vinoda Lokanath Goswami, and so many. But in fact, they did not create these deities. The forms were not created by them or commissioned by them or something like that, something along those lines. So deities are not actually made by chisel, not by any substance. So the sculptor can manifest a certain form made of stone, made of wood, made of brass, made of gold, made of silver. Almost everything can be used. But what actually, and that will be a form, we cannot call it a deity. We can only call it a deity when the deity is manifested through the heart of the devotee. So that is the deity. Otherwise, it's a certain form. So when Vishnu Priya sees that, I mean, it's a whole divine lila. It's all arranged, designed and destined, as Guru Maharaj used to say. But it is through the heart of Vishnu Priya that deity manifested. It's through the heart of other Vaishnavas that are manifested. And a good example is Gopal Bhatta Goswami and Radharaman, again, as one of the, considered to be perhaps one of the most beautiful forms of the Lord. Self-manifested. We can say self-manifested, but then we can also say this is not true. It wasn't self-manifested. It came through the heart of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And we hear the story how Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who was brought in the South Indian family, he knew all the rules and regulations. His father, Venkata Bhatta, was the worshipper of Lakshmi Narayan. In that line, they have wonderful conversation. And he was actually converted by Mahaprabhu while he's staying in his house for 4 months. So those Shaligram Shilas, just a long story short, they came to him and he was worshiping according to the requirement, according to certain style, worshiping the Shaligram Shilas. So he knew very well. But in his heart, he always desired to worship Lord Shyamasundar, a beautiful form of Krishna in Vrindavan. And through that heart, Krishna, he couldn't maintain the form of Shaligram in front of him anymore. So through the heart of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Radharaman appeared. So we can say, yes, self-manifested, and yet not. Manifested through the heart of Gopal Bhatta, to the heart of the great devotee of the Lord. There's always this aspect. For example, we know the deities Govindaji, installed by Bhadranath. Who sculpted it, we do not know, but installed by Bhajanab with the participation of, I think, who was that, Maharaj? His grandmother.
Not sure, Prabhu. I'd have to
Not
do
sure, but
homework.
she saw Krishna, yes. But we know them as Govindaji of Rupa Goswami or Madan Mahan of Sanatana Goswami. Again, the same story. Installed by Vajranabh long time ago, and no doubt worshipped by many wonderful Vaishnavas. So it's always that connection. The manifestation of the deity takes the heart of the Vaishnava. So the deity Pratishta, installation of the deity, takes a Vaishnava to install the deity. So everything is prepared, Vaishnava comes, like we hear this wonderful story about Saraswati Thakur. He said that our deity manifested itself, and Srila Guru Maharaj was trying to assist him with the garland, all of that. So many wonderful stories. And it's a mystery. It's a great mystery always, how the deities are manifested and how they are attracted, how Krishna is attracted by the hearts of the devotees. So he mercifully enters different forms to accept that service, to reciprocate with the devotees, to allow them to offer food, to allow them to offer service, to offer prayers, participate in their life. And someone who is as great as Raghunandan Das Thakur, he can force Krishna out of that form. We can say, in a way, appearing to our eyes as an immobile form, but with the force of devotion in the heart of Raghunandan Thakur, Krishna is revealing his actual form and coming in taking prasadam, sitting with Raghunandan, enjoying some, not prasadam, bhog in this case. Raghunandan was taking prasadam. So that's a wonderful subject that was brought by Kumkum Didi, really. A mystery. I was always mystified by the deity aspect, how the deity would manifest, how the deity would express their desires. In case of Lokanath Das Goswami, there was even a little discussion. It appears, according to some stories, it appeared to him, and he wasn't sure that he can take care. And then he heard a crying voice once, and then he followed that crying voice, and then he found Radha Vinod. One of the stories like that.
Who is that, Prabhu?
Lokanath Das Goswami. There are different stories, and we can say, like Gurudev would say, and all of them can be right. Because really, they're describing a beautiful, affectionate dealings between great Vaishnavas and Krishna, who is desiring to be in their company, who is actually desiring to serve them. Like Madan Mohan, he tricked, Sanatana Goswami was very austere. He would just take some dough and fry it on the coals, and he would take it without anything, no sauce, no chutney, no nothing, no salt even. So when that merchant was passing by, and the temple where he was Dvadashaditya Tila was actually on the bank of Jamuna, old Jamuna. We walk on that Parikrama road, that's where Jamuna used to flow. That's why they have all the ghats right next to it, old ghats. So it was right there. And the barge stuck, and then Madan Mahan created certain illusion. So the barge is stuck, and the merchant comes and approaches Sanatana Goswami by the grace of Sanatana Goswami. He says, "Oh, you pray to Madan Mahan, by his grace, everything is possible." Then at the end, he brings a lot of funds, helps to build the temple, and a lot of salt. So because Krishna wanted Sanatana Goswami to have at least some taste in whatever he's eating, and he approached him before. He said, "Well, why don't you put some salt in there?" "No, I'm perfectly satisfied. Please do not judge me. I am a sadhu. I don't have anything. And I'm feeling I cannot offer you some very nice preparations, but please be satisfied with whatever I'm offering." But Krishna was not satisfied. Krishna wanted to feed his devotee, and he wanted to give him something tasty. Anyhow, Maharaj, it can go on for a while, the deity pastimes in our line.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. And a wonderful story, Jivana. And the verse is Ahoba Kim Stana Kalakutam. Beautiful verse. Really have to we have to recite this verse in that connection. Ahoba Kim Stana Kutam Jigam Sayapaya Dati Satvi. Devegatim Katpakitam Tatonyam Kambadayalum Sharanam Rajema. So when he hears that, when Mukunda He's saying he can see. Gadadhar Pandit did not express anything by words, but Mukunda could understand what he's thinking. He could see the look on the face of Gadadhar Pandit. And then he is reciting this verse. He said, look. And then upon hearing this verse, Pundarik Bidini, he goes into the very long, hours long ecstasy. And he keeps repeating, Kambada Yalam Sharanam Raja. Who is more merciful than him? To whom we can take shelter of? He is the most merciful personality. And that ecstasy goes for hours and hours and hours. And then Gadadhar Pandit realizes that. And he goes to Mahaprabhu, confesses. He says, I'm committed an aparad. And now what should I do? I think I should accept him as a spiritual master. And it's all wonderful, divine lila. And then it happens. And Mahaprabhu says, yes, if you do that, then you will nullify your offense. Maharaj.
And just now I've come back from Jagannath Puri, listening to your kirtan, yes, the chanting the glories of the Lord. And I see in the chat box that Kumkum did is put a color photo, very beautiful photo of the deity that we're hearing about, which manifested by the desire of Vishnu Priya, from the heart of Vishnu Priya in this way. And so that is that devotees do download the picture. They don't stay forever. And Chintamani says, trying to keep my hand steady. Keep trying. This is as close as I can get to Patit Pavan Jagannath. Everything is good. Jai Patit Pavan. And Patit Pavan means the most merciful to the fallen souls. So this is a description of Mahaprabhu. It's also a description of Lord Jagannath. And this area too, it's Raghunandan's day too, this Vashanta Panchami. And Raghunandan Prabhu, he became one of the dancers. And he was famous as a young boy. Then he offered the bhoga to the deities, and his father, Mukunda, I believe, his father was suspicious. And first of all, his mother was suspicious that he's offering the food to the deity, and the deity is eating it and leaving nothing behind. First of all, his mother was suspicious that as a naughty young boy, perhaps, well, a young boy, and maybe he's a naughty young boy, that he ate the food instead of giving it to the Lord. But said, no, no, no. It's true, I gave to the Lord, and he didn't at first eat, but I cried and told, oh, please, I'll get chastised. I was told to feed you. And then the deity eating the food. Of course, this is when he was younger. And then his mother was quite sure he'd eaten it. But his father, when he came home, he said, is it true what you're telling me? Yes, father, it's true, it's true. Can you again do? He said, and then Guru Maharaj describing that he's saying, well, yes, well, I can try. And then father looking from some hidden place and saw, yes, he's offering the food and the deity is eating. So, of course, this is Raghunandan in his very younger times. But then presently Raghunandan, as he's growing up, then he becomes one of the principal dancers in the Sankirtan at the time of the Rath Yatra festival.
Maharaj, remember how they're going back to Puri, and then Mahaprabhu, who knew what happened, suddenly he's asking, so Raghunandan, so Mukunda, you tell me, who is the father and who is the son here?
Yes.
And of course, no one, I mean, that story was kind of kept, I mean, this kind of stories, they were not advertised, kept secret. But then Mukunda, understanding Mahaprabhu knows everything. Immediately he says, well, Raghunandan is my father, and I'm his son. And everybody was astonished. And then that was explained why. And here's another good example on the subject that was brought by Jivan, I believe, about recognizing the Vaishnavas, recognizing the devotees. That we're lacking that capacity. They can only be recognized by the Lord himself, of course, and by the other Vaishnavas. And in the absence of such capacity, we should take shelter of the other Vaishnavas. We're saying, yes, he's a Vaishnava, he's a Vaishnava. And treat everyone as a potential Vaishnava. and treat yourself as an aspiring personality, aspiring for that position. That's the safest position for us. And by the way, Krishna did not eat the full meal second time. He did say that I just had one, Raghunandan. And Raghunan said, if you're not taking anything, I will get in trouble. So Krishna said, at least take some laddu. So Krishna took one laddu and said, okay, I will take laddu. And he's biting the laddu, and suddenly he hears some noise. And then he understands Mukunda is hiding. And then he leaves the half-beaten laddu. And it is said that till this day in that village, they have that half-beaten laddu preserved. And it is in the temple and been worshipped.
Hare Krishna. And this is the case of a child. I mean, giving honor to a Vaishnava, so giving honor to everybody, not only to older persons, senior persons, etc., to the grown-ups, but honor to everyone. And of course, that then extends beyond not only the honor to the human beings, but the honor to every species as well. Hare Krishna. So a last glimpse of Jagannath, the temple, and I have to say, looking very well cared for, look, with gardens and things. And even this part of the temple is, have we just passed the kitchen? Because where the kitchen is where they would throw out the like the very last remnants and things, and where Raghunath Das Goswami, whose day is also this day, where Raghunath Das Goswami, after some time, then he would take the discarded prasadam, which had become rotten, that even the cows wouldn't eat. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Jagannath Prasad. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. We are eating through yourself. Very good. Honoring the prasadam. All right. Well, I've been kind of absorbed in the journey today, and well, okay, so Narottam Nitai Prabhu didn't join us. Okay, I just come back to the gallery view. So, dear devotees, so I was just going to apologize for not addressing his question, but he didn't arrive today. But we have been gently distracted, but in a good way, and distracted in the pastimes of the Lord and his devotees, and distracted in Jagannath Puri, where we're very happy to see that the whole of the Jagannath temple area is being developed, means nicely maintained, put in a dignified way. And it just gradually became a little chaotic around the temple. But, you know, we like chaos to some degree, but the world goes forward, and so this is in honor of Jagannath to make his town very dignified. Hare Krishna. And one last question. I know we're over time. Chintamani Didi, did you find the restaurant that Srila Gurudev used to go to? The Grand. Did you go there? There is a balcony, and Paramanandapu knows it also, and others of you know it. There is a restaurant, and it's not expensive. It's not the super cheap kind of restaurant, but there's a restaurant, and but it has a balcony upstairs, and that balcony is like wonderful view across the Jagannath temple. It's on the other side from the Jagannath temple, a little diagonally opposite, but from upstairs, and especially for us Westerners who can't go inside, then we get like a super view, and we can be seated there and see everything. And Srila Gurudev did like to go to that restaurant, but okay, Idli dosa, very wonderful, but for being just absorbed in the Jagannath temple area and all the leelas that permanently take place there, but the leelas that we can say were directly visible 500 years ago in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, And throughout the centuries, from long ago, the pastime of Lord Jagannath Rath Yatra, then Mahaprabhu's Leela, and the Leela of the Vaishnavas and the servants of the servants of the servants of the Vaishnavas to the present day. So a special, special place. All right, dear devotees, we're getting exhausted on our pilgrimage around the Jagannath temple. So let us...
Maharaj,
Yes.
sorry, quick question. I just got a message from Vishaka Didi that she will not be able to join us for our parikram today to Shakshi Gopal and to Dandabanga. And I was wondering if you can point me to any resources since I know we're out of time, since now I have to lead it and I'm not qualified.
Well, unfortunately, none of us are qualified to go into the deity of Sakshi Gopal. They don't let Westerners go in, so from outside the temple. And please, you refer to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. You have the Veda base, you've got your smart little phone there, and then you will find the pastimes of Sakshi Gopal and the witness Gopal who came to bear witness to the young Brahmana in order to keep the promise of the old Brahmana. And for the breaking of the danda also, Chaitanya Charitamrita, you have the section where Mahaprabhu is on his way to Puri for the very first time, and then Nityananda broke the danda and put it into the river, and the purport behind that being that Ekadanda, this is not at all fitting for Mahaprabhu, and broke it into 3 pieces, which then became the tree danda of the Gaudiya, the Vaishnava sannyasis. All right, but please refer there. It is not possible for me to give you, well, it was not possible for me to give you the full Leela of either of those ever, but especially when we're a little over time at the end of the day. Do your best, but you're going to go to Sakshi Gopal. That's okay, as you wish you do, but you're going to go on a journey. It's not in Puri. You have to take the train or bus, or if you're rich, taxi. And then you'll be outside the temple, but you'll be able to give honor to the temple, of course. So you choose if that's going to be practical to do. All right, dear devotees all over the world, here on Zoom and on Facebook, and those who are seeing us recorded, really, my appreciation to each of you, our honor to each of you. We are our family here, gathered week by week and happily together. And we wish you a successful Seva week. And it's the beginning of spring. It's the beginning of like a time of life, of rejuvenation, re-life. So hence a good time for us to be reliving and appreciate what we have in this world. And really appreciate what we have in this world. Okay, if we had more time, I could say more things, but we were reading in Sri Brihat Bhagavatamritam how the planet Earth is more exalted than Svarga Loka, the heavenly planets, at this time, in particular, in Kali Yuga. So you're in the best place in the universe, in the best type of body, at the best time. Make the best of it. Don't take it for granted. Jai Srila Gurudev, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga Ki Jai. I'll let you all continue your days wherever you are, representing the whole world here, by the way, from north to south, west to east. Jai Srila, Jai Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari.
Jai Om Mr. Bashada Bhajan Ramasud Maharaj Ki Jai.
Vancha
Jai Shri
Kalpatarubhyas
Prabhu Ki Jai.
Cha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranam, all Vaishnavas, with all best wishes. Jai Jai Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.